There was a survey by a nonprofit organization of 50 women who had been living in and around the encampment. 100%, 50 women reported being sexually assaulted in the encampment. Police were pulling guns and weapons out of the tents.
This is a vile human. Okay, I'm definitely, all of us that are against the fentanyl and the shit show that Sarah's inflicting on us downtown east side, she blocks. We don't even get to see what propaganda that she's, you know, flogging. Oh, hey, maybe I'm not. Okay. You know, we know they're human beings, but you know what? Oh, there we are. I'm blocked. Okay. So we know they're human beings, but you disabled them and made them dangerous, and you're too stupid, ignorant, and evil to admit that you, with your grade 10 education, screwed up. You got the death numbers up really high. You were the first fucktard down here in 2016, and that's what you are. So, yeah, just seeing her actually triggers me. She even got her manager, you know, who has at least grade 7 education, stalking me, recording me, because she tries to take my Canadian right away to be able to record in outdoor spaces like everyone else in Canada, to document the torturous conditions and dangerous that she made us live in. She gave us PTSD, made us qualify for MAID because she made our neighborhood such shit. She harasses us for recording in our neighborhood. Unbelievable. And she fights to keep people totally disabled, which I've documented. She fought. She's not even toilet trained. She fought to keep tents in front of our streets. It was absolutely dangerous. Called them poor people, but they had, the littlest one had, I think, $3,000 a month freaking habit. $3,000 to $6,000. They pooed on our street. There was trafficking, rape, murder, stabbing, overdoses. See, I thought the guy was just pimping, but now it's called trafficking these days. Hey, Sarah? She has done nothing good for the Native community, and this white bitch would not be able to do this in her neighborhood or anyone else's neighborhood. It is not loving when you disable people so much. Sarah Blyth?
You started this as an
First of all, they hired someone with grade 10 education, total wacko, didn't do good in high school, dropout, grade 10 education, keeps our Canadian rights down, operates this like a dictatorship. And this has been CBC's go-to people, Global, and the other fucktard CTV's go-to person. This non-medical person posing as a medical person has destroyed the downtown east side. And we all know she can't do it to a white neighborhood. She can't do it to Jag's neighborhood. Oh, I hear that there's a bunch of ambulance going towards her place right now.
Sanctioned pop-up group, essentially. You're now one of the go-to places to get people help who are overdosing. What does that mean to you?
Remember, she has gotten even children to overdose. Number one reason why children are overdosing in BC, her. Children have died down here. I have never really seen her advocate for them to get help. And no, Sarah, some of them aren't human anymore. They're more like demonics. They're more like demonics. When they're almost slicing the heads off people, they're demonics. I've seen 2 almost decapitation deaths. And the third left all the blood there. Just absolutely horrible. Blood's alive, so you can feel the energies. They're demonics. You know it. That's why you had a poster. $500 reward to draw your favorite fentanyl demon. Can't make this up.
To you.
Well, I mean, it's difficult because we're in the middle of a crisis, and it's kind of day to day, and there's overdoses every day. But to be able to save lives.
Able to save lives. Oh, gee. Oh, I gotta mention this, that other people have died waiting for ambulances. She made me sick. I mean, she has no toilet etiquette. She made some of us so sick. What if Mary Lou got euthanized because of her? And she had the same sickness of me. Couldn't tolerate the poo, the fentanyl, and the urine fumes. No one should be living in that. They figured that out in centuries, but she brought it back on our streets full blast with tents. Absolutely horrible. I know this is 7 years ago. She triggers me, okay? Because now I found out that 100% of the women in these tent cities that she supports, and I've heard rape, are sexually assaulted. EB knows that. And what I had to do was counsel 2 young girls at Open Rapeheimer Park because Sarah Blyth told them they had no rights. They had no rights to complain as part of Tent City. Now, I would love CBC, you piece of shit, to do an article requesting for victims of Sarah Blyth to come forward. Trigger. She triggers me. She's got a lot of people killed. Now, not everybody overdoses down here. They hotshot each other off, so they intentionally give whoever they want to take out a shot that they know is going to kill them, and they don't bring them back, okay? That happens lots. So nobody gets charged for killing someone down here with hard drugs. She knows that. She never mentions about the people that commit suicide down here because they couldn't tolerate it because of the shit show that she wouldn't be able to do in a white neighborhood. And no other neighborhood would allow a grade 10 educated fucktard to come in and turn their neighborhood into a shit show unless it was the most vulnerable people in Canada that are too broken to fight back or know better now. Because she's got them on drugs. Okay, let's try and listen to it.
Lives for us, and really just.
Now, most people with grade 10 education, I hope you figured out that, hey, I can look at statistics to see if I'm saving lives or if I'm failing. We're failing. We're the #1 overdose in the province. The #1. We needed her to make this go viral.
Just be able to create policy and push government officials in Vancouver and all throughout Canada has been really, really a big thing for us. And, it's setting an example of what you can do and that you can take action as a community and save lives, and that governments, if you do it in the right way.
We have no input. If you're not on hard drugs, you have no input down here. None. You get the suffering. You get to see your buddies, murdered, stabbed, bopped on the head, robbed, or take themselves out because they can't handle it. But you get no input. This person is a dictator of a neighborhood of natives. And I've proven it. I've got videos. I've got thousands of videos. First time I talked to her, wow, she couldn't even talk. She jumped out at me in front of one of her businesses, her saving lives businesses, where somebody was lying dead inside. The Heart people, the Heart Foundation people that feed people once or twice a week down here, were crying. We never met before, and I already knew her backstory of evilness. And she jumped out on me. She thought she was going to intimidate me with what? Because she's bigger than me by 200 pounds? No, you're not going to intimidate me because you're 200 pounds bigger than me. I might be exaggerating. I might be gaslighting a little bit. It might only be 177 pounds. But anyway, it doesn't matter. The gaslighting was learnt by Trudeau. Thank you, Trudeau. I do giggle when I gaslight. Do you do? I wonder, do you do that too? Do you giggle when you gaslight us? I am... This is just triggering. This is triggering to go through. Sorry.
The right way, governments will listen to you. And, you know, in a lot of ways, the community has actually been the leaders in this crisis, and just because there's so much stigma attached to it, we've been able to show, you know, how you can save lives in a really simple way.
The stigma should have stayed attached to it. She will not mention, which I've recorded her. She's on my YouTube channel. When are you going to talk about the forever kids? The kids from 10 and up. The 126 plus kids. That's like, what, 4 classrooms? That have been taken out by hard drugs. And these kids can't go to a store and buy cigarettes. These kids can't become an alcoholic anymore, which they would probably live longer. She refuses. She has sicked her goons, and they look like goons. They can't even stand up straight on me to scream at me because I'm making videos documenting my hellhole that she made and helped make with her little poverty pimp friends, enablers, to make us qualify for aid with my German Jewish last name. How racist. Okay, let's try more.
And with, you know, and we've gotten support behind us. So, but, you know, in Canada, we may see up to 4,000 people that die from overdoses this year. So it's still a very huge crisis, even though we're doing everything we can. So it's a difficult thing. It's a good thing that we've got the space, and it's a good thing that we, you know, have a nice warm place.
It's nice that you show that there's nobody there. There's hardly anybody goes in these shit shows. Do you want to hang out in this shit show? Hardly anyone goes in there. It's a failure. Kids aren't allowed in there. I bet you she would let 10-year-olds in if we didn't say no. Kids aren't allowed in there. We had spray painting, which is on my YouTube channel. Forever 17. Rest in peace. Got a forever 14-year-old. Rest in peace up the block. They pulled out other forever 14-year-olds and 13-year-olds in the supportive housings dead. In the Tira and other buildings. She won't talk about that. She stands for the most hardcore druggies. And if you want, you can look at Katrina on Fire. Druggie, she will tell you how she was and how selfish she was till she found Jesus. She is the most honest. This one isn't.
Place to be, but it's also, there's a lot more that needs to be done. So.
But no idea.
Sarah Blyth, thank you for your time. All the best.
You dumb fuck. I could never be a journalist and be that stupid. I'd want to know, who is she? So, CBC, Global News, if you have the balls, and City TV and all of the rest of you Canadian news, call her out. Call out looking for victims of sexual assault. There's so many sexual assaults down here. I got to tell you what Vancouver did. Okay? The Vancouver, I don't know if it's the mayor or it's the EB creature from NDP heading, one that cheated to get elected again. Obviously. You know? But we got to fire her. I'm triggered. My heart is palpitating talking about her. The same thing would happen with Ryan Suds, but a little bit less, because Ryan Suds can talk like a decent human. And she's got to quit. Oh, yes, we got to call these people out. and ask for victims of Sarah Blyth that are suffering after being assaulted and will for the rest of their life. Tell them that they matter. And you want, anyone to come forward that were a victim of Sarah Blyth, telling them they're not allowed to talk about sexual assaults in a tent city, Oppenheimer Park, or any other tent city she was in. I want to know who the hell these politicians are hiring, because this woman needs to get taken out of downtown Vancouver and put a restraining order on her down here with a lot of the other poverty pimps.